All right, welcome back. Now, time for us to discuss the issue of today. Now, according by research, you say one thing where they actually make man and woman for inside house quarrel pass, now money. They're not happy manage their finances. Or maybe the woman, they earn more than the man, and the man, they feel, say, come, she not get respect again because say she, they earn more. Or in another case, if it be said the woman, they earn money more than the man, and people will talk, say, why you go marry a man where you they earn money pass? So we're going to talk about everything today, financial management as regards to relationship and even in marriage. And to talk about how we get one casual person where sabi work well on top counseling of people who don't marry, even in a relationship. Join me, welcome DELE AGBOGUN inside the Talk studio. Good to have you.
Welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much.
Now,
nice to be here.
Just like we don't talk on top the money matter, it don't scatter a lot of relationships. It don't scatter a lot of marriages. But I want to actually find out, again, any laid down law when it comes to finances, say, okay, if this woman, they earn more than the man, no go area, the man must earn more than the woman for the relationship to work.
Right. Well, I will start by saying that there's no laid down law like that. May I also add that we need to come to an understanding that we are governed or propelled by different values in life. And your upbringing, the culture you emanated from, your view about life generally form your total being. And who you are has a way of determining how you see the financial aspect of your life. And when you now come into a relationship, then it also determines how you deal with financial matters in relationship. And if it's not clearly, if you don't have a grip on it or have a good understanding about it, and that's what you're going to take into marriage. And when you take into marriage, it's either help you to reinforce the marriage or has the potential of damaging your relationship in the marriage. So I would say in a nutshell, there's no laid down law about the fact that the man or the woman must earn less than the man.
All right, now, so there's a new thing in town. I just want to take it a little bit from here now. Okay. And people, they come outside talk, say, oh, women empowerment is out there. Yes. So we should actually share the finances. So women, for the woman, 50%, while the man, 50%. Putting that rule on ground, it will actually help the marriage to stay stronger. Or should the man take his responsibility of providing 100% of all the things that they need for the house?
Talking about empowerment is really nice, and of course, it will better the economy of the nation. Mm-hmm. You know, the culture we grew from, then when we're growing up, it tends to paint a picture where the woman is meant to take the back seat, whereas it's the man that should take the front seat. But we've come of age to know that what men can do, even some women can even do better. Having said that, I would say that coming to a point where you are now thinking that if you go into a relationship, you are coming into a divide and rule approach, I will not really advise that.
So it's not good to say woman 50%, man 50%?
At all.
Okay.
I might say that there's no laid down rule, but it's expected for a man is that the man should be the head of the home. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to finance in relationship or marriage, the man should have that hunger, that drive, that desire to be in charge, not in terms of being autocratic, but in terms of taking charge and exhibiting your responsibilities. Like I said, where I grew up from, I have a dad who believed that the wife should always take that back seat, and all efforts that my mom attempted to make sure that she gets something doing so that when we kids are grown, she'll be able to contribute our own quota. He insisted and he decided that she should not, to a point where she even did a course to be able to get her empowered. Where he was heading then, he had the ability to be able to employ her, but the only thing that kept my mother away from getting that job was his own recommendation, and the recommendation never came. May I shock you that we actually ate in my family, and while we were kids, he felt he could handle the pressure, even when we were of age. But he later realized that was not the case. But that's trying to paint a picture of the other extreme. If we're saying the man should be in charge, it doesn't now mean that when there's a need, the woman can come as a support.
Okay, I like
Now,
that.
because from what you talk now, your papa no let your mama walk.
Sorry, before you go on, I hope you accept my apologies. I'm trying a bit to do a bit of pidgin.
Really,
but I don't want,
yeah?
I don't want
Was
the
there a
pidgin
bit,
to
yeah?
bring comedy into this whole show. So for all the viewers, I hope you will pardon me and just accept me the way I am.
Me personally, I pardon
We don't
you.
pardon you.
Thank you very much. And I hope they do too.
They will, they will.
But from what you talk, you say your papa no allow your mama walk.
Yes.
But at the same time, him also they talk say nothing wrong if anything happen for the house and the woman contributes. Wow, how that one
That's
go
my
they
own
possible?
view. That's my own
Okay,
view.
that's your
Okay,
own.
that one are your own
not
view.
his
But
own.
how that one go they possible in a family where the man no agree the woman to walk?
It's actually difficult. And if not that my mom happens to handle the situation maturely, at some point in time, she was bitter towards him. Because when we now grew older, we went into the secondary school, then go into the tertiary institution. That's when he discovered the weight of responsibility. Imagine 8 of us. And at that point, it was too late for her. And it was then that she was so bitter because practically everything you have to depend on your man. And it takes a lot away from.
So let me come in here now. I actually know a friend, or should I say a family member, where she want marry, and the man tell her, say, come, I'm a kind of person that I've said it that any woman where I want marry, she not go to work for man. So please, if you are working, you have to resign from your job before we go marry. And true, she actually resigned for her job just for peace to reign. In that case, what will be the best approach where the woman go use to tell the man, say, come, I need this job, without having issues between them?
I think for the lady, you must understand what your future plans are. That's why in counseling sessions, we try to, before they get into the marriage, we have like 15 intensive sections that we normally take our intending couples through. We normally tell them, write down your lifetime goals. Write down about minimum 10 expectations that you want to see in the life of your intending spouse. And when this is written now, then it provides opportunity for discussion. And most times you discover the people involved are actually traveling in opposite directions. So if you know ahead of time, for instance, this case you cited now,
Okay.
there's nothing wrong if the woman is not working as maybe being an employee somewhere. But if at all, maybe the man is more concerned about the time that she can spend with the family, then you should be ready to set her up. Or you should both agree that she have one form of business or the other.
But you know how men can lie. I'm sorry to say, you know how even men and women too, that they lie. But the man will tell you, say, don't worry, when we get married, 2 years after we get married or a year after, I go set up something for you. But now it's going to like 5 years, and trust me, nothing has been set up for this person.
Well, some go tell you, say, maybe the pikin just reach 2 years or 3 years, then you fit go back to work. But until the pikin reach 18, you go still there for inside the house.
Right. Like I said, when that assignment is given and they come up with what the life visions will be, the life vision has to address different areas. It has to do with the social aspect of their life, the career aspect of their life, the spiritual aspect, the kind of God you are serving, how you want the God to be so involved in your family, family as well. So when we get down into these discussions, we make it very clear, because I will strongly advise that women need to be empowered. You need to be empowered, because even if your man have it all, there's this sense of responsibility and importance and value that you have in you, that you don't have to always depend on your man. to get the minutest item you could ever imagine. I've seen how it has ridiculed some women. When you want to now ask for something, that's when you now get a feeler that you are asking for too much.
Just to add to give you an example now, because we're just gisting about this issue. I know of a lady where the man tell her, say, don't work, stop working. She come out from her telecoms work, and then the man marry her, and he started taking the burdens, everything for the house. Now the man, they actually buy him. Do you know that now, the man, they monitor the milk where they buy for house?
What?
The milk. Like she called me recently, she said, can you imagine? He's telling me that he bought milk on Monday, and by Friday, the milk has finished. I said, what do you expect? He's the one paying for it. You don't put all the body for your head, so he doesn't want the milk to finish. The man told us that milk should last for 1 month.
Abba.
So even water, they actually monitor the water. And even now, he's still insisting that don't work.
I don't understand it.
Well, I don't intend to say this to create any problem in any homes, but candidly, for any lady out there, even if you're in a relationship as we speak now, there are certain indicators that you need to actually look out for. And I am for ladies to be able to get empowered. Even when your man have the money, you don't have to 100% depend on him. And see, if you check the statistics, finance is one of the top 5 issues and problems that are breaking homes.
Very true.
So if you are not married, I would like to tell you that I would say it's congratulations as far as I'm concerned, because it's an opportunity that
congratulations.
Thank you, darling.
Tell me too.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you, darling.
Because, you know, anybody can get and walk into marriage, but it's more difficult getting out of it than you ever get into it. Like the case we are talking about now, she'll be feeling so bad.
She is.
And there's a high level of regrets that might be coming about. If I had known. And at times, when a woman tries to be obedient and try to be the nice person, on the long run, you realize that it's counterproductive and it can turn back against her. So I want to really, really encourage people that are out there that get empowered. Get empowered. I made up my mind right from day one. I will not get married to a lady who is not empowered. I want a lady that have this sense of judgment and that have this sense of responsibility, that if I'm not there, I should be able to trust her judgment, she should be able to take a decision on my behalf, and I'll be okay with it. And that is what I have got in myself. If I don't have that picture ahead of time, then that would not have happened.
Now when you don't talk this one now, from a man's point of view, I need to understand why men, they feel insecure about a woman where they earn past them.
You've said, you've clearly stated the point. Insecurity. That's why I will want to, like, I mentioned some indicators that ladies have to look out for. I focus more on ladies. Why? Because they are the ones that tend to lose the most somehow, because there's an emotional involvement. I've come to realize with my years of experience and counseling that it takes more from the woman when something goes wrong than the man. And if the because we're talking about insecurity in this case now, there's something I want to say. I think I'll leave that one out. Talking about the insecurity side now, you need to look out for a time when, if you are going out, for instance, don't be deceived, because what these issues we're talking about, there are usually signs when you are going out. Signs
going out, like when you're dating.
When you are dating, sorry, when you are dating, there are usually signs.
What are these signs? Let's just analyze them quickly.
One of the signs is this: you're only going, you go out on a date. Maybe you went to a restaurant and you've ordered your meal. After you are done, you want to go. The man is attempting to do as if something is coming out of his pocket. And meanwhile, because you are the generous, loving one, say, don't worry. If you say, don't worry, and he allows you, don't worry.
That's a sign.
That's one possible sign.
Okay.
Another possible sign is, because you need to be able to weigh whether someone is going to be stingy or somebody is not going to be stingy. Okay, how does this person celebrate you? Now, I'm not saying this person should lavish the whole sum on the ladies. It depends on the income the person is getting. But what level of thought has this person put into something about you? Even if it has to do with a rose, even if it has to do with something that might not be out of this world, but you know is committing some level of funds to it. What happened? Because you need to really watch it. Because while you are dating and you are earning more, do you see him tending to take the back seat and allowing you to take some of the responsibilities? Are you getting some vibes from him, even when you get him something? And because for me, for instance, those are some of the, because if you have that sense of responsibility as a man, my wife tried to do something for me. It's as if we are in a competition. I want to do something quickly in return. But there's a sense in which somebody will want to give one funny story here and there and let you know why there's no money here, why there's no money there. I'm not saying that once in a while there can be ups and downs, especially when it's a season of down for the guy. But when something now becomes consistent, then you need to watch out. You need to watch out. Then someone is believing you need to do some things and just be able to thank you very much and, say, and giving you excuses even when a man doesn't have that money. You will see in him the hunger and the effort that he or she is making and not minding whatever he or she will do just because he wants to live a responsible life. So these are little things. They are not things that will come to the open like that, but they are things you can sense and be able to dictate why you go out in your relationship.
Just quickly, we need to actually go on a break now. Now, if a woman is always willing to pay when she goes out with a man, does it make the woman less important? Or does it make her, give me a word, does it make the man disrespect the woman or love the woman more? Just a few of your opinion on top of it.
Like, nothing is wrong, really.
In a woman giving that money all the time to pay?
Not all the time now, but if it's all the time, that's when I have an issue with. Once in a while, my wife, before we even got married, there are instances like that. She had to pick up some things and she paid.
What about when the woman, they do them all the time?
Pardon?
What about situation where the woman, they do them all the time?
I would not advise that because that's already a sign.
All right, you don't hear him. You're not going to actually advise that because that one now already a sign. No worry, we'll come back again. And when we come back, now time for us to talk to the singles where they are there. According to popular opinion from the men, they talk say, if you never get money plenty, don't even think of getting married. How true this one be? DELE Agbogun will tell us more when we come back after the break. Stay with us.
Yes, welcome back. We still get Mr. DELE in the building. And we'd already talked before we got the break. So now time for us to actually face the singles. Those of you feel say you need to get very heavy bank account before you commit to your better half. We can find out whether this one is true or false. Now, I belong to the school of thought where feel say you don't need all the money in the world before you settle down.
Me too, girl.
Now, if you meet a person where you say the person get prospects, reasonable prospect.
Thank you for saying that.
You get prospect where if you see, say, okay, oh, if me and this person put hand and hand together, like Bible talk, say, one go chase 1,000, two go chase 10,000, say it go work. But then you get some people where they talk outside, say, no, if we marry, we go rent house. Before you know, picking them go, they come. We go, they pay bills. I go do this one, I go do that. The money never there, I beg. I never ready to marry.
Okay.
Is that a right step?
Very interesting. I think I should start answering that one by giving my own personal story.
Okay.
Myself, it's 15 years now for our marriage.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. That should be July 27th.
Wow.
This year. And I remember clearly when we are going to get married. I always give these instances to encourage my counselees that I take through the premarital classes. I remember I was earning 13,500 as at 2002. And my wife, interestingly, she was earning 17,500 from two sources. Then she was serving as a youth corps, collecting 7,500. And where she was working as a contract staff, she was being given 10,000. That's 17,500. May I say that we got married on those income?
What? Did you not borrow to do your wedding? Because that's the in thing now. People are borrowing to do wedding.
Because everybody needs celebrity wedding.
As in the gown, the food, everything.
Well, we need to deal with this mindset.
Yes.
If you have the money, no problem. If you want to spend, no matter amount you want to spend, you can spend the range of millions. If you don't have it, don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure.
Thank you.
You don't have to. We've had cases, the church that I'm one of the associate pastors in Daystar Christian Center, for instance, and my pastor is Pastor Sam and Nike Adeyemi. They are Pastor Sam and Nike Adeyemi. I've been so blessed and given the right perspective to know that you don't need to spend all for you to just get married, because sometimes in the church, what we do is we make provision for if you go to the registry, you come, we'll bless your home, and from there, you go your way. Because people have come to realize that, because that is not the original, those are not the original things that surrounds marriage. Because marriage truly has to do with parental agreement. And when when parents are agreed, you pay your necessary dowry that you meant to pay. Then if you so now wish, then you can take it higher than that. But I will always advise, if you're in a relationship, make sure you submit yourself to counseling session, because you might think you know it all, but I can assure you there are more things to learn when you get into that. So now saying I must have all that it takes before I get married. Now, I just gave an instance, 13,500 with 17,500. That's like, someone should help me do the math.
That's 2013.
Like 31,000.
Yeah.
That's like 31,000. Prior to the time, we are relationship people. And because the key thing I would advise that you do is this: ask yourself, are you mature enough? Psychologically, spiritually. Then the financial aspect, you don't need to have all the money, because I share the same thought with the school of thought that you said you have. You don't have to have everything, but you need to ask yourself, and you are willing as well at the same time to run your life with this partner of yours that you have.
But what are the things that will qualify you matured enough for marriage? Like now, there is somebody getting married now, and the person still live with his mama for house. He doesn't have his own apartment yet, but he's hoping that both he and his fiancé go join money together to rent apartment for themselves. Now, does it show that you're actually matured for marriage? What are the things that need to be in place to show that you're matured for it?
For you to say you are matured, you must be able to, you must have a mind of your own. You have plan ahead. Like say, let me say you have a vision for your life, and you're already working towards it. You are not a petty person, because if you marry an immature person, the person seems to take every little things that crop up as an issue and make a serious issue out of them, when there are actually no issues. And I tell people, marriage is actually not for boys, it's for two mature adults. And therefore, in terms of maturity, you are not the petty type. You are not, at least you have some level of financial independence. I would not advise, like we always tell people, we don't advise that you are going to get married and you get married into your family house. That is creating problem for yourself and
already, your wife.
Because every marriage have their teething phase. And you need to understand that there are two different individuals who had come together to get married. And if you are coming together like that, you are getting to get to understand each other bit by bit, which make you pass through the teething phase. And through that teething phase, you are bound to make some mistakes, because you are getting to just get to understand each other. So if you now put yourself in a particular family house, then people will help you see you'll be naked and vulnerable before people. And what seems to be a teething phase, people will help you turn it around and make you believe that it's a huge problem. Meanwhile, it's a normal phase of any marriage. So I would say that you don't have to have all the money. Like I said earlier on, you have a vision, because people tend to, I think I need to add this, people look at the physical reality and not focusing on the potential that the person have. Don't look at your partner the way he or she is now. You look at your partner and view it from the standpoint of who he or she will be. Like, for instance, when I said I was earning 13,500, my wife had suitors that are bankers. She has suitors that works from an oil company. But I think vision will help you clarify a lot of things. what do you want out of life? What do you want to be in life? And I think she saw such things, traits, in the potential state in me. And that was why she decided to risk.
You know what's in there? When it comes to all this vision and things, they always beg to disagree.
Okay.
Because now we get a lot of people who don't see vision in their partner, and that vision never comes to reality, then go soon die. Yes,
true.
Yes,
Because
I
my
agree
mom
with
will
you.
say, my mom still go tell you, say, I use vision, prosper, to marry your daddy. I come out for best way one way to America. You understand?
I agree with you. It's unfortunate and it's sad that people have made mess of this whole thing. What I just, don't let me use the word vision. Maybe the vision is looking spiritual or looking. You must have a plan and a goal for your life. That's what I'm saying. And if someone is claiming that he or she he has a goal for your life, ladies, listen. If he's claiming that he has a goal for your life and you are in a relationship 1 year, 2 years, and you're not seeing any progression in the life of the person, because you need to talk about the real stuff. And the real stuff is, where do you intend to be 2 years from now? Where do you intend to be 3 years from now? If the person have worked it out and you have listened and you've spent 6 months, the person still remains where he or she is, then something is wrong. You have to query something. So as for ladies, and I'm saying, if you are objective and not allow the chemistry, the dopamine that works in the mind to take over your feelings.
The waiting? No, you have to go back again. Keep rewind. The dopamine.
I said the dopamine. What I'm just trying to say, the emotions. Don't allow sentiment. Don't allow emotions to override your judgment. Because somebody used to say, marriage, you know, love is blind, rather. Love is blind. So you always need to know that marriage will help you to open it. So we tell people, open your eyes before you get into it. Even though when you have strong love and feeling for someone, that doesn't make you, that shouldn't give a license to be stupid and not know exactly what you want in life. That's
I like that part. Now, whether
like
your
it.
love no fit give you license, so they're stupid to whoever they are.
Don't just easily say love is blind. Oh, love is blind. Oh, the guy that beats me for house, but you are still there.
I know.
Oh, he cheats. It even brings the woman to the house, but you are still there, my sister.
Now, some people even they build excuses for the man, but that is none of my business. Very quickly, make I give a beauty tips for the day. Oh, my ladies. Now, then say if you need to tighten your pores and remove blackheads from your face, very easy. If you use something from inside your kitchen, then they call them egg. Now, just remove the yolk from the egg and then use the white of the egg, rub your face. Very thin layer, leave them for a while before you wash them, come out. Then say this one will actually help your face dry and tighten the pores, and it will also remove blackheads. So make more use of egg than say you they chop them. Yeah, if you use them for your face.
Or than say you they drink them just like that raw.
I don't understand people where they drink
People
raw
actually
egg.
take it raw like that. And they say it's very healthy.
What?
Very healthy.
Yuck.
Really healthy. All right, thank you so much, Pastor DELE AGBOGUN. But before you leave, your final advice to married couple out there where they face financial crisis, and also for single ladies where they out there, and even guys too, whether they look, say, come, this woman feel they earn more than me, and not feel marry her because she won't be submissive.
Let me start with the singles. I want to advise candidly from the depth of my heart. Please, when you are going out with a guy, be very objective and be purposeful. Don't get into a relationship because others just want to get into a relationship. You get into a relationship purposefully. If you are not ready to get married in the next 2-3 years, I don't see any reason why you have to get into it. I'm not saying it's not possible, it's possible, but that's what makes it very purposeful. And when you're in a relationship with a guy, please watch out for how the spending habit of this person is, because it defines the person's value as far as marriage is concerned, and relationship is concerned. Watch out whether this person is, he works around with budgets, budgeting and planning his finances. It's important that you look out for that. You need to watch out for maybe this person is a giver. If you get married to a stingy person, you'll be shocked and surprised at the end of the day. Even some people who are so loving, by the time they get married, you are shocking that the person is not as generous as he used to be. How much more when you notice somebody has a stingy disposition. So you need to also pay attention to that. But I also want to advise that you look out for someone who have a plan for his life. A purposeless person will take you nowhere. I must guarantee that. No matter how much money the person have now, I would rather go with someone who looks as, who would seem as if he doesn't have enough, but I can see great potential because he had projected plan on how things will improve. The person's future is more secured than someone who have lots and lots of money, but without any pragmatic step or plans that he or she has for. Because if you jump into it, you might enjoy it now, but you're going to suffer it later. But why enjoy now and suffer later and not choose to look as if you are suffering now? But you tend to understand each other better, but you now enjoy later because your night season really has to do with you resting and not you now slaving and trying to now creating the problem. And for those that are married, I believe now you have an idea of how money can play out in your marriage. You have to decide what role money would play. It's either playing a role of being a master or playing a role of being a servant. If it's a master, it means your attitude will always be influenced by either the excess of it or the scarcity of it. And if it's a servant, then it means you are freed up from the influence of that money, and you are the one that will be able to dictate how money should be done, spent, and not the money dictating to you how you should behave to you, because it makes people to behave irrationally, I must confess to you. So I think you need to pay attention to that. And if something goes wrong with your financial life, it affects your children, it affects your career, it affects practically every aspect of your life, because there are decisions you are going to be making when your children start coming up. You have to agree ahead of time what kind of school the children will be going to, what kind of life, quality of life that you want to give to them. So there's, if not for the limited time, there's so much that we can actually do. But I believe they will be able to take this discussion further from here. So that. But
I think in summary, for those families where they go through financial crisis, the most important thing is say, talk to someone, talk to a counselor. It will actually help you out.
Yes.
And being stingy too, they're very tricky. Because sometimes some people feel they manage their money, but you would think that they are stingy.
But some people don't go give their family money, but they're going to give outsiders. So when the family, they look like, say, oh, you not give me, the outsiders go to look, say, you doing something. It's very generous.
So how do you determine someone is actually very stingy? Because I know of someone where they say, if he's going out, he will tell you, sorry, it's 500 naira we're spending as we're going out. And then the lady, they think, say, this person is stingy. I go tell me it's 500 naira. Is that being stingy or just money management?
But money management is a totally different ballgame altogether. I will agree with someone who is prudent with his or her resources than someone that is frivolous. If you are managing to secure a prosperous future, that is not stinginess, especially with the picture of the two of you in that future. So it means we are working hard to make sure that our night season will not be laborious, but will always be at rest. And
but with this example where I give now, you're going out and he's telling you 500 now, I'm spending it.
Well, we just need to balance things out, because there's a sense in which it might be tilting too far to one side.
I know.
Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. If we leave you here, she not gonna allow you come out here today, but we really appreciate your coming in. We hope that when we call you again, you go actually come join us.
Yeah,
please follow him on top Instagram. You did there and talk to him directly. Go actually answer all your questions at DELE AGBOGUN on top Instagram. He did there. So follow him. He's also on Facebook, DELE AGBOGUN.
And follow us too, because we did Facebook, Instagram, everywhere at Bettiana, at Princess. We are the official TV page at Wazobia Max.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As we always talk, to talk not be bad thing, but making the way thing they talk about.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.